Hi, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. We are going to very quickly connect my computer because I want to show you one interactive report. Great. So my name is Felix Kufus. I'm working with the Finnish peacemaking organization CMI, Martti Ahtisaari Peace Foundation, as an advisor in their digital peacemaking team. And I'm here today with my colleague Michele Giovanardi. And I have the joy to present to you today a digital engagement process that we conducted in Yemen this year. So just briefly about the background of this process. So CMI has been supporting cross-party dialogue in Yemen for many years. Last year we conducted a joint vision building process with representatives of 7 different Yemeni political parties. And the objective was to first create a shared vision of Yemen's political future in 2040. And second, based on that vision, to develop a concrete policy roadmap across a range of different thematic areas, including the rule of law, peace and reconciliation, economy, a future constitution in Yemen, and so forth. And it was quite a long process that took well over a year, involving near monthly rounds of dialogue, and also several moments where we thought that the process might be stalled or break down. But indeed, then finally it was able to complete it and also get the approval by the leadership of all 7 political parties. But shortly before the round of approval from the party leadership actually happened, it was agreed, and to our great relief, that the youth wings of all 7 political parties get the chance to at least give their inputs into, the vision statement that was created and the policy, the roadmap. So the question was then, how do we engage with a wide range of people, of youth representatives living across Yemen, often in areas we cannot physically reach. We cannot get them to some kind of a centralized space where we can engage in person, but how to give them the opportunity to actually share in-depth opinion about the vision statement and the policy roadmap that was shared with them before. And our approach combined 2 components. First, a WhatsApp chatbot as the front-end interface. We choose WhatsApp because it's a widely used and trusted platform among our stakeholders, and nearly everyone was familiar with the platform, and no special apps to download and no platforms to learn and so forth. And the second, the back end of this tool, is based on the Talk to the City sense-making tool developed by the AI Objective Institute. And without that tool, this entire approach would have not been possible. And also, they are publishing their code open source, so so we were able to actually adjust it more to our needs in that process. So how it worked in practice was that we shared a clickable sort of like WhatsApp link through WhatsApp, and the youth representatives of the different parties clicked on the link, the chat window opened, the chatbot came to life, and first started by sort of like sharing general accounts, sort of like why, an introduction, why we are reaching out, sort of like reminding about the vision building process, about the statement, the vision statement, and so forth, and then asking a couple of demographic questions regarding, gender, age, geographic location, political affiliation, and so forth. Before it then started to ask 10 open-ended questions. So while the survey was going on, we were able to actually monitor it live over this dashboard, seeing how many people are responding, from which parties are the people are coming, and especially like through how many questions did they already go. And what struck us was to see a high level of engagement. I mean, many of those were actively invited, so the number of 132 was not such a surprise, but what was a surprise was the completion rate of 95%, so that a lot of people actually went through all of the open-ended questions. And not only that, but because of the fact that you can answer those WhatsApp open-ended questions, not only in text form, but also via voice message, people actually shared very long, very comprehensive answers to those questions. So we ended up with really a huge amount of information of really thoughtful and detailed answers to all the questions. And then the AI sense making sort of like came to use. And here I quickly show you a version of the actual report, because it's an interactive one, and then it's maybe a bit better to see. Okay. So that is the report that you can create over the Talk to the City tool. You sort of like upload all the different answers to the survey in a certain formattation, and then it sort of like analyzes the main topics. In our case, six main topics, 18 subtopics, and 1,760 so-called representative claims. So in the interest of time, I just go very quickly through that and show you. So those are the main topics: political stability, youth engagement, economic development, social justice, and so forth. There are a lot of like subtopics, like political pluralism, national reconciliation, job creation, and so forth. So these are basically the main topics the people spoke to in the survey that were on top of their minds. And even though the open-ended questions were formulated in a very broad way, they actually sort of like mentioned exactly those points that was of great relevance throughout the workshop. Now you can then basically look here and see all those representative sort of like arguments from the people. So these are things like integrating all military formations under the Ministry of Defense is essential for state stability, or the historical burdens carried by the current elite hinder progress, while youth are untamed by this past and seek opportunities. So these are basically statements that are a summarization of all the different inputs that are given by individual respondents. And you can see the grounding, you can see the original statements by clicking here, and actually see what the people have in fact answers, sort of like to make sure there are no hallucinations and so forth. This is an older version of the report. You can see there are many statements that only have sort of like one grounding. This is because this tool is very sensitive, or used to be very sensitive, and rather sort of like makes separate statements instead of merging them. But this is actually getting much better with the new sort of like versions of that tool. Okay, I very quickly go to my last slide. Yeah, also a topic that we can speak a lot about with a bit more time, and please do approach me or my colleague. But just very quickly about the main challenges that we encountered, not only in that process but also in other processes. Of course, there's always the issue of digital access barriers connected with internet connectivity, with mobile costs, with access to mobile devices and so forth. But in that particular case, we made sure that everyone actually can engage. Another problem that we saw is, of course, trust. The question of, you get a link sent to you, you open that link, and then you basically give statements, answer questions, and you cannot be sure who is on the other side. In our particular case in Yemen, that CMI has a lot of trust in the region, especially with those stakeholders, so that was less of a problem. But with other projects that came after, that was repeatedly a problem. Also, the technical compatibility in Yemen, that wasn't a big issue, but we had processes afterwards, or at least attempts. In Syria, for example, WhatsApp on a personal conversation is possible, but the underlying message handler, Twilio, that you need for the chatbot is completely blocked, for example. So you cannot use that tool in Syria. You have problems using it in Guinea-Bissau because it only works for numbers that are issued after October 2022. So there are you really need to do a thorough testing of in what context you can actually use the tool. But in Yemen, it worked really, really well. And quickly to the potential, it really enabled us to get sort of an opportunity to remotely engage with a larger group of people, using an off-the-shelf tool on the front end, WhatsApp, which was well known already. We were able to ask open-ended questions and still get high engagement through the opportunity of actually them submitting answers in voice messages. We have the possibility to actually do a qualitative analysis on quantitative scale with these sense-making tool, which was great. Thank you very much.